Hi, my name is Catherine Went with Syscon, and thanks for taking a moment of your time. Today I wanted to talk with you about a phrase Chris heard and brought to my attention. He heard someone say, the tech status quo, and he turned to me and said, it's just an oxymoron. And I have to say I agree, so I did a little bit of looking some things up, and I looked up the definition of a couple keywords. So status quo. Status quo is the existing state of affairs, the way things are now. And when Chris said it was an oxymoron, oxymoron is a figure of speech where two contradictory terms are used together and they seem to have opposite meanings. So when we think of tech, technology is changing quite quickly, where status quo means keeping things the way they are. So I got to thinking about a couple different topics. One, I was thinking about the garage doors. So when we first started having the garage doors, for those of you who don't remember those days, you'd get out of your car in the rain or the cold and open the garage door to put the car in. Then, of course, there's the garage door openers. And now you can take out your cell phone and you can deal with your garage door from your office. So who wants to go back? Another one, checks. So back in the day, we would handwrite all the payroll checks. Then we could print them to the check stock, saved a ton of time. And now we create a file that gets uploaded to the bank. Who wants to go back? I don't know. I don't want to handwrite the checks. How about local networks? So there was a local network. Then we had remote access. We do terminal server. We could get in remotely. And now cloud computing could do it from a coffee shop if we wanted. Phones. So the desk phones, well, if you go back enough in time, it was the switchboards, then the desk phones, then the mobile phones, of course, and the original ones of those were bricks and they got really hot. Now they're so small, they fit in our pockets. And now all the way to Teams phones. I don't even have a phone on my desk and I can do it on the computer or my cell phone. How about monitors? Remember the ones that were really quite wide? They took up half the countertop or the desktop, depending on where you had them. And then we got beautiful, bigger screens that were quite thin. And now you can have multiple screens and they're beautiful high-resolution screens. So we definitely don't want to go back and keep the status quo. We do like our technology to grow and change, and most of us can't even imagine going back in time for those technologies. So we'd like to advocate for your team members. I would suggest that maybe you go look at your bookkeeper and other key office people's computers. Really, they shouldn't be any older than 2 years old. Give them the good equipment. Make sure it's current and fast and up to date. How about your firewall? Make sure that's only a few years old and make sure the firmware is up to date. With the change in labor rules by the different states, checking in, accountability, the need for transparency, all of those things, really consider electronic field time and get a package that has those features in it so that you can be compliant and your people can be accountable. So provide your team members with good quality tools, just like you would in the field. Do that in the office as well. None of us can really afford to be stagnant when it comes to technology. You need current technology to run your business well. Thanks for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.